Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to speak to you a little bit about how I've noticed there's this tendency within myself, and this is particularly geared towards women or people who identify as women. So I've noticed a tendency within myself that at certain points in my cycle, at certain points when my hormones are doing their crazy dance, I feel like it's the end of the world for me. It feels like everything is going crazy, it's going in the wrong direction. I feel like everything that I've been working on has just completely gone berserk. I have no faith in the world or in myself, and I feel like it's like the end of the line for me. It's like the end of the world. I can't see any hope in the situation, and I just don't know what to do. And usually, what I do at this point is I ignore the world, ignore reality, and I hide under the pillows or under the cover, sorry, and eat my chips and read my mangas until this feeling passes. I wanted to do a little bit of a video on this because I noticed a lot of you have actually messaged me saying that this is actually true. Not only viewers, but I've noticed this tendency in my friends as well. And so I wanted to do this video because that's what the whole power of cycle tracking is all about. That's the reason why I'm actually really hyping cycle tracking so much, because it really helps you in this regard, absolutely, in such a big manner that I can't even emphasize it enough. Okay, so I'm going to read a comment first by Miss Nomer. She says, yes, I have over 15 years of data on my app. It's very helpful for doctors if you have any issues. I was able to identify that I have premenstrual good moods, but I sometimes experience postmenstrual depression. Around this time, I can get very low mood and despondent. I find myself thinking, what is even the point of being alive? Now that I can recognize it, I can realize it's hormonal and temporary. It's hormonal and temporary. Like, literally, that should be a banner. Every single time you're going through any kind of random mood swings where it feels like it's the end of the world, it feels like everything has just gone in the opposite direction of where you wanted it to go, and you feel like there's no hope left of it at all, literally, you should have a banner blinking in the side, like a neon red or neon orange, saying, it's hormonal, it's temporary, it's going to pass, tomorrow is going to be a new day, and you're going to think, what was I so worried about? Everything seems fine, right? And that's one of the points of cycle tracking, is literally that. You just in that regard, if you can just have that sense that, oh, right, okay, yeah, no, I'm not crazy. My life is not completely terrible, and I'm not in a completely horrible situation. In fact, what's going on is just I am going through a valley in my hormones, and I just feel a little bit depressed because of it, because the hormones are going in and out and going crazy in my body. And if I just let it pass, I can lean into it and feel it if I want. But if I just take a day or two just to take care of myself and let it pass, in a couple of days, all of this madness is going to be behind me, and I'm going to wonder why I was feeling so crazy. Now, a lot of times what happens to me in this regard is I get very restless. And now that I'm cycle tracking, I'm noticing like my restlessness has a pattern. It usually just kind of comes up for me at certain points in my cycle. And so when I get this restless feeling in the past, I would have just been like, oh my God, my obviously I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. My life is not on track. I haven't done anything good with my life. I am not impacting the world in the way I want to. I'm not doing anything good with my life. I'm a completely useless good for nothing, and I need to make some major changes, right? It sounds crazy when you actually hear it, but in my head it seems very logical, and I'm in my mode, in my restless mode, or in my depressed mode or sad mode, whatever that mode is, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I need to change everything. And so if I, in the past at least, if I would let myself go into this mode and not really realize, it's just a hormone, stop it, don't do that, I would start changing all these different things up. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. I'm going to find a new job. I'm going to move to Alaska. I'm going to sell my car. I start making a list of all these different things I'm going to do. Thankfully, the hormonal madness only lasts for a few hours or a couple of days. And then after that, you're back up again and you're like, oh, right, I guess I don't need to sell my car and move to Alaska or quit my job. Everything is okay, right? And so it's really important now that I realize it, to be like, okay, cool, yeah, no, everything's okay. You're just going through a hormonal phase. Nothing to change. You don't need to do anything at this moment in time. Just take your time, relax. It's just your restless phase. Take care of yourself. Go for a bubble bath or go for a walk or journal a little bit. Just relax and be with it. Just wait for a couple of days, and you'll notice that everything is back to normal again. You'll notice that everything is okay again. You'll notice that feeling that you had, that everything is spiraling out of control and you're in a very terrible part of your life, or you're doing nothing good with your life, it's going to disappear. And all of a sudden everything's going to be good again, and you're going to wonder what you were making such a big hoopla about, right? So really, really important, because a lot of people, what they do in this situation is they assume that they're depressed. And then they go to the doctor or psychiatrist or whoever it might be, and they tell them that they're depressed. And the doctor, and doctors and people, they're just busy. They don't have that much time. They're like, well, if she says this, she's depressed, maybe she is. And so either they put you on birth control pills, which makes it worse, or they put you on antidepressants, which again can sometimes make it worse. Or, they kind of put you on all these random pills or regimens and things like that, which you actually really don't need, because in fact you're not depressed. It's just hormonal. It's temporary. And so every month you're going to go through this, and unless you're tracking your cycles, you don't know that every month you're going through this. You don't realize that this is just a normal up and down of the cycle, right? And that in itself is like, wow, like hallelujah moment, right? Like the light bulb just lit in my head. And so now when I'm going through this phase where all of a sudden I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm in this phase where it feels like nothing I'm doing is right. Everything I do is wrong. I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm boring, I'm unintelligent, I am this and that, and everything terrible, nothing good in me at all. I haven't done anything with my life. Everything seems like a complete waste. I should just end it all. That's the kind of like feeling that I wake up with. And now I know, okay, cool, it's hormonal. So I could just be like, okay, this doesn't mean that I ignore it, of course. I'm not like, all right, I'm just going to ignore myself. No, I know that it's just temporary and it needs self-care. It means that I'm pushing myself too hard. I'm not taking care of myself enough. I'm not giving myself enough self-care or love. And so what I do on those days, and what I implore all of you to do as well, is to realize again, it's hormonal, it's temporary, it's not the end of the world. And to take the time to just be with yourself, relax, love yourself, take care of yourself, give yourself what you need. If you need a day of just sitting around and lazing about watching Netflix, then do that, right? It's okay. The world won't end if you do that for a day or two. It will not end, I assure you. And so this is what cycle tracking really teaches us. And it literally is like the most important thing in the world for a woman to know, but we're not taught this. And that is in itself the thing that irks me the most, that my mom, she could have gone, she had a terrible cycle a lot of times, and she went through a lot of depressive phases and things like that, where she spent a lot of time on antidepressants, but she didn't need to, because it was just her hormones. Her cycle was the thing that needed work, not her brain, not her neurochemistry, right? And so, but she didn't work on her hormonal cycles. She didn't work on her cycles at all. She just worked on her neurochemistry. She kept on pumping herself with all of these pills and medications. Nothing worked. And then she went through menopause, and now she's like much calmer because all of her cycles have kind of really stabilized. So I really wish, that's the reason I do these videos. That's the reason I'm really doing these videos. Even though sometimes I'm like, what am I talking about? I'm talking about my period online. Oh my God. But I'm really doing it because it's important. Even if one or two women who identify as women, people who identify as women, listen to this video and they're like, I think I'm going to start tracking my cycle. Even if that happens with these videos, I think it will have done this job, because literally it's going to change your life. It's going to change your mindset towards your body. It's going to change your mindset towards all of these ups and downs, because all of a sudden it's not going to be a surprise anymore. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this cycle phase. No, you can be like, today is this phase. And usually around this time I start feeling depressed, or I start feeling hopeless about the world. So, right, okay, cool, that's what I feel right now. That's it, And you're like, all right, cool, and a day or two will pass and I'll be back to normal again. I'll be happy again. Great, awesome. Now you know. And now you don't have to be like, all right, I have to change my complete life around. You don't have to break up with your boyfriend, sell your condo, move across the world, start teaching yoga. Unless you want to really do that. But you don't have to do it because of this phase. You can just do it because you make a conscious choice about it, okay? I hope this makes sense to you. I really wanted to share this with you, and I've been wanting to share these videos for a while. I hope that you understand that I'm doing it because there is real importance to cycle tracking. I'm not doing it because anyone's paying me, nothing like that. It's literally that important to me, and I really believe in its efficacy in improving a woman's life. Any person who identifies as a woman's life, okay? If you have questions, comment below and I shall do a follow-up video. And I will share a couple of books down in the description below for books that you can follow or books that you can read in order to track your cycle better, to learn about your cycle better. Period Power by Maisie Hill is one of them. Really great book. I really recommend her. Balance Your Hormones, Balance Your Life is another one by Claudia Welsh. Really great book. And Woman Code by Alyssa Vitti. Again, I'll share all of these down below. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being on my channel. I really appreciate your support, and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.